am Happy Marite Mpale, and I'm the co-founder of Black Hair. Black Hair is a natural hair care manufacturing company based in Maseru, Lesotho. We manufacture natural hair care products. We also have a natural hair care salon that specializes in taking care of natural hair.
This is Kananelo Tamai, co-founder and winemaker at Sunny Wines. At Sunny Wines, we grow grapes and take care of the grapes. When the grapes are ready, we harvest and process the grapes into wine. At Sunny Wines, our vineyards are currently consisting of two varieties, which is Chenin Blanc, which is our white variety, and we also have Pinotage, which is our red varietal.
I am Katiso Joachim Tsoho. I am the founder of the brand Joachim Garments, which is a fashion brand situated in Lesotho. It translates the Basotho prints and patterns into high-end luxury fashion.
My name is Motlatsi Russell. I'm the organizer of the Royal Cup, one of the prestigious horse racing events in Lesotho, named in honor of the royal family. The event is positioned to embrace local brands, culture, and our heritage, more especially local brands, from fashion, beauty, culinary, and the arts.
My name is Happy Marite Mpale. I am the co-founder of Black Hair. Black Hair is a natural hair care manufacturing company that also has a beauty service aspect. We specialize in natural hair care. So that's who we are. We've been in the game since 2015.
Wow, that's really interesting. Lebitso la ka ke Katiso Joachim Tsoho. I'm into fashion and apparel industry. I have a clothing manufacturing company called Diaparo, and also a fashion house called Joachim that is named after my name. Yeah, that's basically what I do.
My name's Kananelo Tamai. I work for Sunny Wines as a winemaker. At Sunny Wines, we grow grapes, and then when the grapes are ready, we process those grapes into wine. We started in the year 2008.
My name is Motlatsi Russell. I'm an entrepreneur. I wear many hats in the business space, but the events keep me busy. I'm an organizer of the Royal Cup, which is done in commemoration of His Majesty the King and the family. I'm also an engineer, but gravitated towards interior design, predominantly in the furniture space.
So what influenced you to start, and why that industry?
Okay, I think for me, my story was quite interesting in the sense that it was more of a passion than anything. I didn't even see business. It's just something that I loved. So ever since I was a little kid, I've always loved fashion. I've always loved designing or constructing something. So when I completed my program in university, that's when I focused more on, learning the industry and, starting what I'm currently doing.
Well, I think more businesses that are started from a passionate perspective actually have more longevity. because you put in that energy, you put yourself into the business. Okay, so I also have a similar story, but my one is more of I was solving a personal problem. I used to chemically treat my hair like relaxer, and I had a terrible reaction. And then during that time, my hair was starting to fall off. I did the big chop like I've done again now. Before I grew it out. So during that period, I started researching what is it? What's the thing that our African hair needs to be well taken care of? Because my issue was these chemicals are not right. Even when you smell them, they're like, this doesn't smell right. Definitely. It smells off. So how it became a business, it was influenced by a group of other women. So I posted a picture of it was like teeny well, a bit larger than this one.
Yeah.
So I posted on my social media, like, who wants to join me? Who wants to join me in this journey of taking care of our hair so that we can share tips and tricks and what have you. So we became, the response, it was around 60 women. Then, I formulated a WhatsApp group, and in that WhatsApp group, we just share tips and tricks. And then there was one statement that stood out for me when someone said, but we don't really have a local brand that caters for this. And then that was like my light bulb moment. It was like,
Got the
yes, that's where I was like, okay,
now
that's saying something.
problem
There's a problem that I need to solve. Like, I'm not the only person who has this problem. There is 60 other women who have the same problem. So that's just really how it became a business.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
what an amazing story.
So what sparked your journey?
Our father used to be a smallholder farmer.
Okay.
I would say he's still a smallholder farmer. He used to grow vegetables like cabbages, tomatoes. At some point in time, then he thought of including the fruits.
Okay.
And then as he was going on with that project, he ended up growing grapes, table grapes. That's how we ended up getting ourselves involved in the.
In the winemaking
Then
business.
after finishing studies, I never went anywhere to try to find something to do.
Yes.
You already had you already had a job with.
Guaranteed job.
Yeah.
I think your story is similar to mine. I think I grew up in Mahalisuk, which is known as the horse racing arena of Lesotho.
Oh yes.
And my father owned race horses. And so I grew up in that kind of space where I had to take care of horses, including other animals like cattle. Predominantly horses, because he loved horses. When I grew up, obviously horse racing in Lesotho was a bit primitive. And I thought we should take it to the next level. We had exposure, went to the Devonshire Lower Marines, King's Plate, and I found it befitting to have, the kind of platform, the kind of show to have in Lesotho, especially knowing where Basotho come from with horses.
Definitely.
We, Basotho and horses, have been friends, since.
Definitely.
So that is the story behind the World Cup. Now, tell me, now how did you start? How did you find means and ways to start this beautiful business? It's quite interesting.
I'm lucky that at the time I was working, I had a corporate job, so I qualified for a loan. That was the initial injection. But then additional injection, I resigned from my job. And at the time, I had just been loboled. So I asked for my husband's money. Wow. Instead of a wedding, I bought a car and added capital into the business.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Not a lot of people do that.
Not a lot of people, especially women. We want to have our day. But for me at that time, I was just like, the business for me right now is what's most important. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you?
My story.
How did you get started? Where did you get the money?
I was still a student at Boot University. I used to earn like 1.6 as monthly allowance. So I sacrificed 1 month of that money and I bought a small machine. So immediately when I got that 1.6, I funded the business with a small machine, and then I started tailoring these clothes. And then surprisingly, people start falling in love with what I was
What you were
making.
producing.
And then I kept on reinvesting the profits. I bought the machines, and then later on, the company kept on growing consistently. Yeah.
Wow. Not a lot of people your age, at that age, would actually do that.
Yeah.
With the allowance. We go to places of enjoyment.
Enjoy the allowance.
Yeah, so that's impressive of you to do that.
There's a variety of challenges we find ourselves facing in the wine making sector. At the top of the list is the climatic conditions that we have. We normally say our winemaking procedure is extreme winemaking. As it comes to you, Mehab, what challenges are you finding yourselves in as much as this sector is concerned?
I think for me, I'm facing more challenges as I'm growing. Because now as you grow, you have to involve other people. You understand, at the starting point, it's just you're the business, you know everything. But now as you're growing and expanding, there's the aspect of human capital.
Yeah.
It is by far the most challenging thing for me. For me, because now you're dealing with people's characters, their upbringings, their personalities, and you have to incorporate it in and balance it with your day-to-day business operations. So sometimes someone doesn't feel like coming to work. Now you have to ask, like, why aren't you at work? They don't even communicate. Some people are not good communicators. So you have to continuously set up systems that will that will mitigate these challenges. So every day there's something new, and every day I have to pivot and change and do cartwheels in terms of how I set up my systems to allow room for all these personal or human changes that come into the business. You have employed someone, they have an itchy hand, they like taking things that don't belong to them. So now you have to continuously set it up in such a way that, how am I going to deal with this particular problem? Because what if I have now a team of itchy-handed people, right? So how do I continuously build my systems in terms of financial security, processes, payment processes? Because right now we do not touch cash, right? Everything is digital money, because now you can track it. You can track and we have systems, booking systems, purchasing systems. The boxes need to be ticked. And if the boxes are not ticked, now you have to ask people hard questions like, what happened here? And they need to have a valid explanation as to what happened here.
You are the kind of a person who can boldly face people, ask questions that might not be easily...
I'm okay with uncomfortable questions. Because I need to understand. It's like, what make me understand? So another challenge, like I said, if we don't have standards locally, it becomes a lot more difficult for us to expand and get into retail and get into the SADC region, because now there's rules and regulations, especially in the cosmetics industry. But we have been lucky enough to be able to mitigate some of these things. We are selling through a digital online distribution platform that is based in South Africa, but also that has challenges. We are going to try to step back from the platform and regroup and re-strategize, because we're not getting the expected traction. We're not getting... the sales are not as good as we were expecting them to be for that environment. So we need to go back and say, okay, are we communicating our availability through this platform well enough for us to get enough money? Because now they charge their warehousing. That's another thing. And if you're not moving product they have their expectations as well. If the product is not moving in a particular way, they remove it from the shelf.
I think the major challenge in apparel industry, especially in my country, is that I started as an individual tailoring these clothes. So upscaling or expanding the business was like one of the greatest challenges, because I had to invite more employees into the businesses, and I don't have any professional training on how to manage employees and also manage the business, because the business also it involves a lot of systems. System that manages the cash flow, system that manages the employee, system that manages the expansion of the business. So those were the major challenges. And also again acquiring like heavy duty machines for us. You have to know like the right machine and who like also
Who will run it.
who will run the machine, like operate these machines, because they need a professional training. And also I'm a young individual, like I'm so young into this industry, and also I have to manage like old people, like people who are like the age difference probably 10 years older than myself, and having to, you know, be very precise or tell this person that like this is what I'm expecting of you. You know, it can be a bit of challenging, because like they see like, who are you? You're so young to tell me what to do.
Do you have these in writing?
Yes. Okay, in that so I learned that you are into horse racing, so I'm mostly interested to know what could be the challenges in that industry.
Okay, thank you. As I said, I mean, horse racing is a very expensive sport. So you could imagine in our country, I mean, the economic situation in the country, and you can imagine, I mean, the few Basotho that have got those, I mean, race horses, how having a horse changed their lives in terms of feeding, carrying. It is. I mean, veterinary fees, because it's not just, I mean, horse putting it there and just eating. Horses eat muesli.
Wow.
If I tell you, so it's not just yeah.
It's not just hay.
Yeah, I know. So
Okay.
so with the Royal Cup, you can imagine we have this once a year. So the biggest challenge is to have races in between, you know, because now
That prepares.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
you know, because the very same horse owners, I mean, reap the benefit from the races because of the prize money they get. So it's quite challenging, because I said we sustain the sport through the sponsorships, and it's quite difficult. I mean, it's a challenge to get a sponsor that can actually sponsor the entire, say, probably a league that who could, I mean, do races per month.
Yeah.
Because in South Africa, I mean, you get races like literally every day.
Daily.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we want to get to that level. So it's yeah, we are trying. I mean, making inroads, trying to get, I mean, sponsorship.
Yes,
So that we can at least, you know, get to that level where we could say owning a horse is like a real business. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, when you have a horse, you could, I mean, reap benefits out of it.
And as it comes to you, Mehab, what moment could you define as your
A business turning point. Okay. The way the business was modeled initially, we were just producing products and selling them, and training local salons on how to use our products and how to handle natural hair. But then we got resistance from the industry, where people have been in the space for so long, and you can't just be a newcomer and tell them what to do. But then, like, in the industry in itself with salons, they're just you just pop in and they do your hair, and if you have natural hair, they want to blow dry it. And so what we did was we sat down and we wrote everything to the T that we don't like about our salon experiences, and say we're going to offer it differently. So we're like, now we need to have our own salons. Like, as much as we have the products, now we need to have our own service points that says, here our clients that are using the products can also come and get service from us, because of the pushback that we received from the industry. Then we're like, okay, if you can't join them, if you can't beat them, join them, right? If you can't beat them, join them. So we joined them, but gave a different offering. So our salon is a specialist salon that says we cater for natural hair because of what we experienced in other salons, the queuing, the mishandling, the lack of information and education about our African hair. So that was the turning point for us, because it also helped us with scaling. It's like, instead of now selling to the salons, we also have our own door where we can still retail our product.
Wow.
I normally perceive hair care as something that has to do with only ladies.
No, it's for everyone. We actually have a broad mix of clients, of men that are actually, a lot of, would say, quote unquote, woke men come to our salon who are now embracing the hair growth, who are now saying, cutting our hair is a stereotype, it was meant to grow, right? Because if you look at biologically, it's a protective layer. It was meant to grow. So why are we cutting it? So in your context, what was your turning point?
I think for us, beginning like of the journey was we involved other external, stakeholders like outsourcing like your prints, finding other external suppliers to contribute in our product quality. That was our major challenge, because now, they were stressing us heavy, because
inconsistencies.
the inconsistency, deliveries, they were delaying to deliver products. So now I decided to strengthen our factory in a sense that every single machine that I need in terms of making a complete garment, I had to buy it. Make sure that, so our factory, which is Diaparo P2I Ltd, we strengthen it. We introduce different machines like your embroideries, your printing machines, different kinds of prints, different kinds of sewing machines. We build them. We set them up in our factory, and also we brought in a lot of employees, to contribute in making like a complete garment. And then after, we open our first retail outlet. So now we are operating like a whole
The whole value chain.
Product cycle from design,
Same,
design
right?
room,
The whole value
we have-
chain.
yes,
Yeah.
cutting everything until the last channel, which is distributing. So now our main focus now is
Distribution.
And remember, I told you that we are like obsessed in high tailoring. We make sure that the garment is constructed with
Precision.
High precision.
So I think that's our strong
Your value
selling point.
proposition.
So even now also, we started getting noticed by like the major, local corporate companies
Right.
that used to buy in South Africa or like rest of the countries. So now they saw that we are capable in producing like good quality garments. So now they are producing with us. So
wow.
and now our retail now is doing pretty well. So we are now planning to take it out South Africa, or opening our next store in Sandton. So like that's how we are progressing. One other thing is we have been privileged also to showcase or exhibit our products, our collections in other countries like Swaziland. We have went to Rwanda for Africa Free Trade campaigns. Also, we did exhibitions in Japan. We also, we are trying to, as much as we can, to spread the brand globally and raise awareness. Also, our strong, like the main source of inspiration of our garments is like the Basotho culture and heritage. So we have lived the story. We are able to tell the story even much better, because that's part of us. So it's best we tell it to the world. Yeah.
Okay, like I think again, similar stories.
Yeah.
So we've also had opportunities to go to like Dubai at like the fair trades, organic and natural cosmetic trades in Dubai and in Germany, to also just try to understand also what the market requires outside Lesotho.
Lesotho, yeah.
And through our e-commerce platform, we have quite a number of people that are purchasing who are based in the SADC region, like your South Africa, Namibia. We have a lot of Namibian clients, surprisingly. So that's what we do. So the idea also is to get the products out there, get them in people's hands, even though individually we still have people who are who are living abroad, locals that are living abroad. They always come here and stock up, and stock up to actually say, I like enjoying these products and telling people about them when I'm outside the country. And
So
then
maybe you can even make them your own channel
of distribution.
If you're based in UK, take
visit 20 pieces,
and
right?
then sell them
And resell them. But obviously there is regulation.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think it's easier maybe for garments, but for cosmetics there is
governing bodies.
there are a lot more regulatory processes that happen in between. They can't just have that much product on them without the right documentation.
Right.
So we recently got an interest in the Netherlands with respect of distribution. We are working along that.
Wow.
I think in the next couple of weeks, our product will be sold in the Netherlands. We've just been in negotiations with another distributor in Johannesburg. We also have an agreement with them, and also in a couple of weeks, our wines will also be on the shelves in Johannesburg. As for now, we are only trying to focus around those two distributors
places.
so that we don't push it aggressively so that
So that supply doesn't overweigh the
it doesn't get overstressed. So I think we are trying to push it a little bit modestly.
Okay.
We as Africans are beginning to I don't want to say are beginning to wake up, but
we are waking up.
okay. Well, if that's the proper wording.
I'm not sure if it's politically correct, but
awake rather.
yeah.
But it looks like we are beginning to embrace our African, our South Africa. We are beginning to appreciate the potential that we have, the resources that we have. So for that fact, I think if there is proper collaborations among all the entities at stake, I think there is a very great potential for us to be able to sustain ourselves and the businesses that in fact are the entirety of our economy.
Okay, I think for us, what we are aspiring to find a footprint in the retail industry, especially Lesotho and other countries in Africa, because the major players are, international or foreign brands, the highest consumption has always been on imports. So we are trying to find our footprint in the malls, and also especially participating also highly in luxury space, both Africa and globally. We are trying to also preach a strong message about our culture and heritage, because we have a very beautiful culture that the world needs to hear. And we are really focusing on telling the Basotho culture and heritage in the global stage.
We have, in the context of growth and what the future holds for us, we want to start opening hair clinics, because hair is not just an aesthetic. It is very telling about your entire health system. Just the hair and the skin, when analyzed, if you're not eating well, you're not resting, you're stressed, and other factors, your hair will not grow well, your skin will also break off. So what we want to do is start having hair clinics that we can assess and diagnose and treat. That is what the future looks like. We are doing studies at the moment to get certified to be able to provide that service for our clients, because on a day-to-day basis we meet a lot of people that are experiencing a lot of health problems that causes their hair to be in a particular state. So that's the solution. We are a solutions-based company. It's holistic. That's the future for us, and we see it growing outside of Lesotho. We're already trying to set up also in South Africa. We'll be launching soon. hopefully all things being equal, we will be launching that as well so that we can be able to treat our clients. It's not just about product usage, but then holistic wellness. In terms of the continent, the industry is so broad. If you look at the hair care industry, it's a $700 billion industry.
Wow.
And all we want to do is get 1% of the pie.
And you
There's room for everyone. That's really what the message I would like to say. Like whatever it is that you're doing and the people that are coming up, there's room for everyone.
Right.
Like we have established there possible collaborations that could happen just among ourselves.
Yeah.
So imagine all other people that are in this space and how we can grow our industry and be independent of South Africa and other, because we're always referring to South Africa. Yes, we're landlocked. It makes sense to refer to them because they do have the numbers for consuming our products because we're just 2 million.
Yeah.
They have the numbers. So it makes business sense to include them in the conversation because they are what we'd call a low-hanging fruit for our businesses to get into that space and get into that industry. But also when you look into that side, we should also look collaborations. How do we collaborate with people who are already in the ecosystems and how can we take advantage of their infrastructures to help boost our businesses?
No, I was saying it's quite important and very positive as well. I mean, to be sitting here, I mean, with you guys, I mean, all local brands, and to be celebrating, I mean, our Africanness with our own brands. You know, horse racing as a sport is a platform to showcase, and with these brands, I mean, locally made brands and showcasing on our platform. I mean, we just need to be collaboratively strategic in terms of moving forward. So, I mean, we don't need anyone outside the borders.
Yeah.
We have the platform, we have the brands. We just need to celebrate and embrace ourselves with what we have.